to hanging and
We're
jiving.
driving.
This should be episode 10.
It is episode 10. Yes.
Springtime in the
In the
ghetto.
ghetto. Actually, no. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Our Good Samaritan.
That's the one I saw. That's the one
Yeah, it
I
says
watched.
spring in the ghetto time. Springtime in the ghetto. Or Good Samaritan.
Why I say good Samaritan? Oh, yeah.
Well,
Okay, now you start.
I don't think. I think that we should go in alphabetical order.
Okay, so I'm gonna sum it up in 1 minute. Okay, so spring, huh?
Can you?
I don't know. I'm gonna try the best I
Go
can.
ahead, Dre.
Okay, so springtime in the ghetto. So this episode is basically Florida. I guess okay, so yeah, Florida is getting the apartment ready because she entered a contest in the projects. I don't know what did they ever say the name of the contest was? I don't think so.
I think it's just. Yeah, I don't know. It's a contest
For
to see
the
who's got the
best
best.
for the best looking apartment.
Yeah.
So in the project. So there she got everybody working. She got James cleaning the apartment, helping her clean the apartment. She got Thelma, she got JJ doing stuff. Walona came in and brought her a fish in the fish tank. And everything is going well. She got everybody working, everybody pulling together, trying to get the apartment ready and everything. She laid out, she was sewing a new couch cover.
What's so funny?
Anyway, so everything going good. She feels really good about it. And then Michael, the Good Samaritan, brings home Ned the wino. So he, feels like, he was like, he asked like, as a good Christian, I don't forget what he said, but as a good Christian, would you help somebody that needs help? Obviously that is homeless or whatever and needs help. And so Florida's like, yeah, of course, that's what good Christians do. So he was like, glad you said that, mama. And went back outside and brings Ned the wino, the neighborhood homeless wino, in the apartment. And Michael's like, yeah, he promises to like clean his act up or whatever, stop drinking and da 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 da. And so Florida was like, damn, of all days, why you gotta be a good Samaritan? And so she was like, there's no well, James is like, Michael, I know I know your heart is right, but we can't help this man. He's just a hopeless drunk. So Michael begs them to, come on, give him a chance. Let's help him out. So Florida gives in. And so then, they, Michael and JJ, Michael, JJ, and James, they, go ahead, got Ned together. Before they did that, they were trying to everybody was trying to sober him up at least. So they kind of sobered him up a little bit. I don't know, probably not. And then James and Michael and JJ all, helped clean up Ned. James gave Ned one of his suits, and I don't know what suit. I ain't never seen James in that suit. So anyway, he talking about, let me dig in my closet. Yep.
What? What did he say?
Dig up a suit. They ain't got that much clothes. They ain't got that many clothes. James ain't got the James ain't got that many suits. So anyway, so they clean him up, shave them, pick out his fro. He's a whole completely different Ned. And so yeah, so then the committee people comes in and they inspect the apartment and everything, and they're like, the head person, the head lady or whatever that
Miss
was in
Vincent,
charge of
actually.
the committee. What's huh?
Miss Vincent, which is a name we'll probably hear later on in a few episodes later, next season.
Oh yeah, what's the name again?
Was it Gertie Vincent?
No, Miss Vincent. It's just Miss
Vincent,
Vincent. Yeah. So Miss Vincent
who
is
is
um
somebody else we'll hear about in the next season.
yeah, a whole different actor.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we'll talk about that.
yeah. And so she's the head of committee. So she's like, you got it. Everything looks good. You got it. You won. I think you won. And the other two were like, well, wait a minute. It was another apartment we were supposed to go back and look. And she told them, no, I think Miss Evans, she got it hands down. She is the winner. So she won the contest. Then they leave. They were all excited. Woo, yeah, yeah. All they're gonna get is a daggone small little ass plaque. You ain't getting no money for it. You're doing all this work for no damn money. But anyway, it's just really dumb. So anyway, Miss Vincent goes out, they leave, and then she comes knocking on the door and was like, I have Miss Evans, I gotta tell you what put you over. And she was like, what put me over the other people? And she's like, the way you cleaned up Ned.
Well, you cleaned up, man.
The way you cleaned that Ned. And James was like, wait, I told you that's my cousin, that's my cousin from out of town. She was like, look, I know this man. And that is I know this man. And James is like, well, how do you know? Or Florida's like, well, how do you know? It's like, because he's my husband. And so James is like, well, I be goddamn. And then uh uh and then she was like, Miss Vincent was like, in all these years, this the first time I don't mind bringing this man home with me. And then Ned says, home with her? Did she say home with her? She drags him out. Come on, Ned. Mama's still living with us, and the girls still come over once a week.
For a card game, yeah.
Oh my God. And so anyway, and then James was like, see, I told you it's who you know, or whatever. Because it was a discussion earlier about, it's who you know sometimes is when you want to win something, whatever, or something. And so anyway, so that, nonetheless, and then like the very last scene, you see what they won, a little ass damn plaque, no money. So anyway, that's basically the end. And it's a pretty funny episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like this episode. I Now we're starting to get into something that I think the episodes are getting a little bit more funnier,
Yeah.
and the Jimmy Arker's coming out of his comedic shell a little bit and being more funny. I noticed that the audience, they must have got that, they must have shipped the audience in from South Central because
What?
they was you could tell it's a black audience. It just sounds like it. When JJ was saying right on to the African Violet,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite
the
scenes.
audience erupted in like whoops and wallers and laughter, and they're loud. I'm like, only black people would do that.
Yeah,
They would only
yeah.
get that, and they would appreciate that. Which but yeah, this is I'm just thinking, the first 9 episodes were just boring to me. I just didn't like them. I'm thinking if those episodes premiered this day, that Good Times wouldn't have last out of 9 episodes. Um, thank goodness that they let, kept it going and let the show evolve past
Yeah,
9 boring episodes, in my opinion.
yeah,
But yeah, this is a great episode. It's funny, just full of funny quips, funny things, really creative, great storyline. Actually, not original because it made me think of Lucy, when she was trying to grow those tulips and win an award for that. You remember that?
wait, which
She.
one?
This is when they're living in Connecticut. They live in the suburbs, and she was
I
trying
don't
to. And
remember
that's
that
when
one.
she rode that tractor, that what was it, a lawnmower that run amok. And
Oh,
so she was trying to get Ricky to cut the yard so that she can have her tulips look nice, and then she
yeah.
ran over her tulips with a lawnmower, and it was all about a contest to see who the best tulips. And this is kind of like that, but neither here nor there. This is still a creative episode. It's really good. Surprisingly, I didn't know that they. I didn't know that they had contests like that in the ghetto, but really great because you would think that you'd want to, if you're in a community like that, you want to have contests or some kind of community
Yeah.
based thing. So I
And
think it's great. It just shows that we have a lot of, camaraderie in the ghetto, and that we are not just.
and and also, like she said in the episode, it gives you pride to, make your pride and makes you feel good. Living. If you gotta live in the projects, you might as well make it livable. Make it
Yeah,
livable, make it presentable, and show pride on, how you live. So
yeah,
that's what she said. But still, they could have gave them some type of money instead of
yeah.
little ass plaque.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're, I mean, I don't know, or some kind of like gift card. I don't know if they had those, but gift card for groceries, what they
Yeah,
needed.
yeah, get groceries. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't,
yeah.
but yeah, I guess the pride is to be known, to have the plaque so you can hang it up to the wall
Yeah.
next to the white Jesus. I don't know. Uh, Another thing too is, since I really like it, a lot of black pride in this episode, which kind of makes me think of the 90s. You know how in the 90s there's just like this, the
Yeah.
black movie exploitation, not exploitation, but movie renaissance, and there's a lot of black pride in the early 90s. Well, there's a lot of black pride here. I think they're just coming out of the 60s. People are changing their hair, and it just made me think about, what about the 80s? Was there black pride in the 80s? I mean, with the Jerry curls and everything, and the Cosby, was there black pride?
Not as I'm pretty sure, yeah, but I didn't see a lot of it until the 90s.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't feel
I
it till the
think
90s.
80s, I mean, you know what? 80s was the decade of excess, and that's all across the board.
Yeah,
The white people in excess, black people, everybody was like in excess, like excessive.
yeah.
It was just, nothing but like kind of greed, you
Yeah, I
know.
mean, I definitely didn't feel any less of a, black pride in the 80s, but it just didn't seem, because we had a lot of role models. My role model was Nell Carter, anyway.
Yes.
So I definitely felt like, if a black woman, if I patterned myself as a black woman after her, and that
I
character worked for me.
Yeah, I think the 90s were more uh uh
Yeah,
consciousness.
it was very conscious. So was 70s, because and then another thing too that I noticed is that
There's
this is
that too.
prior to Nixon getting, I think, what was it? He
Each
got
were
impeached, not impeached, but he got
he
thrown out of
got
office. And I
yeah,
think this is probably when the Watergate was happening. Things
the
were starting to
Watergate.
rumble, so people were talking a lot about political things, because people knew that the government was corrupt. They knew that Nixon was corrupt, and I just, this pretty interesting that, and we were political back then in the 90s too. We had, of course, with our consciousness and everything like that. But yeah, I just noticed some of the jokes and stuff like that. They're talking about Nixon. Um, and I also noticed that with other black programs, mainly Sanford and Son, they would talk a lot about Nixon and things like that, and the political things. But Other than that, it's just a great episode. Let's see. Raymond Allen, who played Ned, um, he seems like he's a drunk. He played
Yeah, he was a drunk on Sanford and Son,
yeah,
wasn't
you played
that's
Woodrow Wilson on Sanford and Son. He
yeah.
was a drunk there, and he's a drunk now, and he was a reoccurring character here
Mm-hmm.
as Ned the Wino. So he kind of just that was his claim to fame, Ned the Wino, pretty much. He did a really great job. I mean, just funny. Um, I think from just the time that he came in to the time he left, I mean, when he was on the couch, when after they cleaned him up, he's just smiling. I'm sitting there just cracking up. I'm like,
Yes,
that
but
is genius to have him just be comatose after cleaning up and just have that smile on his face. It's just
nah,
classic.
the
It's just classic.
funniest is when she talking about she will bring him, take him home. That was
And
funny.
but yeah, yeah, and but in a future episodes, his daughter is going to play Michael's love interest. We'll talk about that later. So
Wait, what?
yeah, his daughter, who's her name is Terrence Allen. Um,
Oh,
she plays um Michael's girlfriend in the upcoming, I think in season 3 or 4 or something. I think that's the season after James passed away,
yeah.
or the one that remember
Oh,
where JJ.
he got into a fight with JJ because he
Yeah, that
felt
was her.
like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, that's his daughter
yeah, that's Ned the Wonder,
in
real
real
daughter
life.
in real life. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Okay.
So
But
he makes pretty children. He makes beautiful women. I tell you that one thing. Regardless of, well, he's not really a drunk man, but anyway. But other than that, it was just a good episode. It was just funny, creative. It moved well. It kind of it wasn't just kind of just laying there and boring. It was a really fun episode. I think the lesson learned is just the Good Samaritan. You sent me a text today saying that you would not have to clean
I
up
would
Ned.
sorry. I enslaved away making this apartment clean and smelling good, and then you won't bring this funky man home. I'm sorry. And then we gotta, I just cleaned the bathroom. We cleaned the bathroom, and then you gotta clean. No, no, no.
Well,
I will not be a no.
the thing
Would
is
you
that
do
if
it?
they're not getting any money, what does it matter?
Yeah, but still, like I still want to win. But the thing is I didn't did all this. I'm like, look,
Yeah, I
well,
did. Yeah, I cleaned all
I need to
the
win
bathroom.
something. I need to win something since I didn't slaved all day cleaning this apartment. No,
Yeah.
would you do it?
No, well, for safety reasons, I mean, no.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, safety reasons, I'm not going to pick up a homeless person off the street and help them. Now, I would treat them like a stray cat and be like, well, I'm going to put the food out on the porch and
Yeah.
here's a water bucket and you can wash yourself out on the porch and I won't call the police. Here's some
Yeah.
money, or just give them some money for McDonald's or something. Like, hey, there's a McDonald's down the street, you can go and
Hmm.
get that. Or what I would do is instead of I would just, I mean, of course I have the means, or just be like, hey, I've got $50, why don't you just go get, stay at the Motel 6 for a night.
Hmm.
We've got something going on here and you're not invited. um or just do something like it. But they don't have the money to do that, they don't have the means, so that's why they
Yeah.
brought him in. So there's other ways to help the homeless. There's other ways to help people. But then on the other hand, it's like what James was saying is like, this man does not want to get help. And then Michael's like, no, he
Exactly.
wants to get help. How would you know that somebody who's addicted to alcohol and drugs, just because they say
And
that they want to get help, that they want to get help?
he don't get help because in another episode he's on the elevator drunk as hell.
That's so funny.
Freaking the skunk on the elevator.
Okay, so but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think with people who are addicted to things like sugar,
Yeah.
just saying, or hardcore drugs where you're really like you can't get off it. you have to tread lightly, because just because you want to help doesn't mean that you can bring them in, because
Yeah,
they can
yeah.
bring you down. So yeah, sorry, not sorry. It's not trying to be, mean or bad. It's just that you have to think logically sometimes and be like, okay, can I help
Oh,
this person now?
I'm sorry, I wouldn't do it.
It's difficult because some people do want to get help, but it's just like you bring them to your house and they could start stealing from you and bring your stuff down. Then where are you gonna be? I mean, yeah, you can recoup stuff and you can, you know, always get things back. Possessions don't really not really mean anything. You could always recoup, but sometimes you gotta think about some things. I mean, Oh, and then when he was eating the oatmeal or whatever he was eating, that was hilarious. I mean, just everything he did in this episode was funny. I mean, just the way he was talking and the way he was just he was trying to eat the oatmeal
Smiling.
and
Nah, he's like, oh my
and when he
God.
was trying to drink the milk, he held the back of his neck.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just comic relief. I mean, I think if it was today, I think that they probably consider giving him a show. I don't know why. It just seems like it smells like a what's the call the when they what's
A
it called?
spinoff.
Spin-off, yeah, spin-off of a show. But anyway, it was fun. Anyway, then they started calling him I noticed that, Florida called JJ instead of James Jr. That's when JJ started coming in. I noticed that. Other than that, James is dressed nice slacks.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. So it looks like after they cleaned up Ned, they all changed their clothes.
yeah, everybody looks nice, dressed
Yeah.
nice. Walona's outfit is cute. She's got I like her wig. It's very, the color of it is very nice. Um, everything's just pretty cool. I mean, and then, also then Mrs. Vincent, she's
Yeah.
a pretty, nice looking woman. It just made me think that, it just makes you think that now we know the reason why we know why he's a wino,
Yeah.
because
Like,
because
yeah.
of because of the marriage. So,
Mm.
and it just that's the cherry on the top of the episode, is that, we know why Ned the Wino is drunk because of all the I probably just, just,
Well, she just seems pushy. She might be nice there, but you know,
I think just all the hardships of just life, probably just try to be a man, take care of his family, and then a wife that's probably pushy and
mhm.
overbearing. And, so he's just like, well, I'll just drink and I'll just take it to the next level and just live in the street and I don't want to come home. And he's happy. That's probably why he went back out. That's why the next episodes are just of him still being
Yeah,
at the White Oak, because he's just like, I don't want to be married. I don't want to be having to be responsible or anything like that. So, you
that's
know,
funny. That's funny episode.
but yeah, other than that, it was just a good episode. Yeah, they could have. Huh?
I said yes. It was a funny episode.
I also noticed that James is extra, very loving, and just everybody's so happy.
Yeah,
James
like
was very lovey-dovey, very
everybody,
mushy-ish.
nobody. Yeah, it was no like bickering. I don't think JJ or Thelma were bickering on this.
No, but James, he was very lovey-dovey with
Mhm.
Florida, and
Very supportive.
yeah, supportive. He did make a crack about her talking to the plants. He's like, "Your bread ain't baked," and that was funny.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Talking about, she just thought that was weird that she was talking to plants, but I hear that you're supposed to talk to plants. Um, you know, so just a real good episode. I really like it. It's one of my favorites. I mean, it's a thumbs up, pretty much. Oops, thumbs up. And it's just a good episode, just funny and a classic. It's one of the classic. Probably one of the if you had to list one of the best episodes of Good Times, this would be one on the list somewhere. I don't know what ranking, but it'd be on the list as one of the
Yeah.
good ones. So,
The next episode is pretty high up there.
what's the next one?
The commercial.
Oh yeah. Which is what Ned should have been in that
Yeah,
one.
that should have been. Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, the commercials probably top 10, I think, which we'll do in a couple weeks, do next week, which is just a classic episode. It's been sampled and you know, quoted many times by me, by the everybody. It's just
yep.
unforgettable. Of course, we'll talk about that next week, but this one is really good. Definitely recommend watching it a couple of times. It's just funny. If you need a good laugh, watch this episode. Um, I just give it a thumbs up and it's great. That's all I can
Thumbs
say.
up. Oh, we already did that.
And yeah, other than that, I can think of something else. But some of the actors that are in here, I try to place them. A few that are have been on Sanford and of course, but not just Oh, I like the part. I forgot to tell you one part. You know, what did you think about the furnishings? I mean, I thought, it's like this is the last time you're going to see everything. I just thought that the couch cover, that's very 70s. It's not something that I would,
Yeah.
but okay.
No.
But if you're trying to make a statement and do something different, I guess you would use something that's loud like that. Um,
I mean, I really didn't think of any. I mean, nothing really stood out as far as that.
the
Um,
plants, they could have kept that throughout the whole
plan-
series.
yeah, they could have kept the plans for the whole series. They could have. They kept
Um,
Jesus up there. Shoot,
but other than that, everybody was
it was a very light-hearted episode.
very funny, very good, and a good
Very,
great lesson.
very,
A great
yeah,
lesson.
it was.
It's not hypocritical or
Not,
condescending.
it was not. I wouldn't say no, not depressing, but it wasn't like an episode where, oh my God, they ran out. They you ain't got no money. You got money to pay this. It was just a very, like I said, a very light-hearted, funny, no worry episode.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So, that's pretty much all I got that about the this episode. So yeah, so thumbs up.
Yeah, I already did the thumbs up.
Yes, thumbs up. I mean, thumbs up.
I don't know how to. I
Thumbs
don't
up
know
for this episode.
how. I don't know.
Thumbs up for this episode. Definitely a classic and definitely watchable and stands the test of time. Ones that you can watch throughout the decades. Yep.
and it's not a down episode.
Not a downer. It's a good one. And it
Yeah.
teaches a lesson it teaches about living in the ghetto and teaches about being a good lesson that transcends all, which is pay it forward and help your brother.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, that's it for hanging and jiving, pretty much.
And job is
Hanging
stay
and
tuned.
jiving. Will you join us next week?
Next week.
Well, good, because we want you to,
Oh, subscribe and follow right below.
yeah,
Right
and join
below.
us and
Yeah.
comment Andre's.
Like and subscribe.
And what should they comment about?
If they like this video or this podcast,
I think we should comment about what the
comment
ranking.
that you like about Good Times.
Yeah, maybe ask them would they take in Ned the Wino?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't. I mean, I would just get him a And you know what? I just noticed that plaque that they got, it was on the wall before they even was awarded it.
What?
Yeah, it was. Oh well, because they knew they were going to win. But my thing is, I would just get a hotel. I would definitely try to pay it forward and try to help them, but I couldn't have them in my house. That's going the extra mile. But I guess in the 70s, that's what you could do. So I mean, I guess, which they didn't. I think in the 70s there was no safety, security, or anything like that. There was no, stranger danger. People were hitchhiking and things like that. Of course, we're hitchhiking now. We call it Lyft and Uber. So, all right, that's it. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for joining. See you
Bye.
next time. We're hanging in chat.
Driving. Jiving.
Jiving. I'm happy you just cut it off.
Jiving. I said, jiving.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.